Howdy, and thank you for your interest in joining a freshman leadership organization at Texas A&M and wanting to start your Aggie family and building your Aggie community. Flows are a wonderful way to do that. And so with that, we encourage you, if you haven't already, go to the other parts of this website and click on the Flows tab and learn all about these flows so that way you can make your informed decisions. So this video is going to serve as your way to learn a little bit more, but also to, most importantly, apply. So we encourage you absolutely to do that and get involved here at Texas A&M. And apply. You can apply to one or if not all, but we recommend that you make informed applying choices with ones that mean something to you, something stands out to you in a positive way, because then you'll have the best connection and the most viability as a candidate. So we just want to encourage that. So what you're going to do is you can, if you're seeing this on the FLAC website, you can just click that Apply Now button and it'll take you to this website. But you can just go to getinvolved.Tamu.edu. That's getinvolved.Tamu.edu. So it's because it's what we want you to do. We want you to get involved at Texas A&M. So what you'll do is you'll go to this website and you will click Join a Flow. And if you notice, this is a fake application portal. So the one that you will see will show all of the different freshman leadership organizations, the position name, so the FLO name, it'll say freshman applicant, the FLO's actual name. So these are two fake FLOs we made. So this one's called Firm, and this one's called Happy. If they have a tagline, that'll be there. As well as the deadline that you must submit your application by, as well as when it was posted, so you know how long it's been up. What's really nice about this website is you do not wait until this deadline comes. You can absolutely turn in your application. Just know that they will not contact you about those applications until after this deadline, in alignment with the schedule of the flows. So go to the schedule tab over on the FLAC website, FLAC.Tamu.edu/schedule, and you will be able to look at when all those notices will go out. So let's say you're looking through and, oh, this one, let's get ready. Yeah, I wanted to get ready. So I want to click position details to learn a little bit more. So this has a little bit more details. So again, it's got all the information up here of those deadlines. But then down here, you'll see different information that each of these flows has chosen to share with you. We've encouraged them to share things like their dues, which is also on their flows page on the FLAC website. But this is just some reminders for this group. They're saying they'd like to meet on Wednesday nights at 7. So that should be a consideration for you if you're wanting to join this one. But they also have small group meetings on Sundays. So that way you know what you're in for in terms of time. If they have any events, virtual or otherwise, some of those ones that are coming up that are important dates for you to know, those are here, as well as the costs. We've highly encouraged them to put in the dues so that way you can make your informed decision. On top of that, though, we've also asked each of these flows of what their financial aid plan is, if their finances are a concern. And so all that information is over on each of those flows pages on FLAC.Tamu.edu/flows, and you can click through any of the ones that you're interested in. So we encourage you to do that. So once you feel that you are at a place where it's like, yeah, I like this flow, I want to see what they want to ask of me in terms of application questions, or you're like, I am dead set, let's apply. You're going to click this Apply Now button over in the right-hand side. And if you notice, there's been this login button up in the upper right-hand corner. So if you hadn't already logged in, it's going to make you log in now. So you're going to have to log in with your A&M credentials, so your NetID and password. So your NetID is what comes before the @Tamu.edu, so use that whole thing. So whatever that is, @Tamu, and you're going to click Next. And then because it's A&M, you're also going to have to Duo. So you'll make sure to have your Duo authentication device with you. So that way you'll be able to do that. But then once you're in, you're going to notice that you're in because then it says your name. So it's going to say Howdy and then your name. And that information is pulled directly from your Howdy profile. So every flow is going to have a different checklist here. If you notice, I actually can't go to the next step until I've done all these things. You can do these in any order that you want. But what's important for you to know is that there's this little member number right here. This member number is essentially your ID number. So all a reviewer is going to see, they will not see your name or anything like that, as long as you don't put that in your application question answers. Just don't do that. They will not see your name or anything like that. It is a completely blind process for each of the flows. So that way they can focus in on the content and your answer. But at the very least, you're going to have 3 sections, these first 3. So you're going to have a personal information one, a FLAC agreement, and an application question. And then some flows might have a little bit more, like their own agreement, things like that. So let's go through these. So personal information. And it's going to ask you a couple questions. So you'll put that in. And then it's going to ask you for your A&M email address. Now, if you notice, some of these have stars, some of them don't. And that's because those are required fields. The other ones aren't. So if you don't want to put your cell phone number, you don't have to. For the actual application, there's going to be a couple other questions, including your emergency contact. So just be prepared for that. Because if something were to happen when you get into one of these organizations, if you were to get into one of these organizations, then if we want to be able to have a way to contact you to make sure that you're going to be supported and to reach out in case something were to happen, which of course we absolutely do not wish on anybody, but there will be a couple more questions and I just wanted to prepare you for that. So once I do this, I can click complete section and there's a little check mark. Perfect. Now I got a nice green check mark that lets me know it's done. So now let's go to the FLAC agreement. So FLAC is the group that oversees all the flows, but all of the flows are their own entities. So FLAC is essentially saying, well, FLAC doesn't make the decisions for any of these organizations. They're going to make these selections decisions. But it also says, okay, I agree also to that FLAC is going to run periodic data in an aggregate form. So that's how we know that those freshmen who were in a FLO during the 2019-2020 school year had a higher overall GPA than the freshmen who were not in a FLO. So we have some nice correlations that there's some really positive academic success stories that come from being in a FLO, which is wonderful. So you've done those. I got a nice little check mark again. So let's go to the application questions. So these are questions the FLO is wanting you to answer to then move on to the interview stage. So you might have a number of questions here. So some might just have 2 questions, some might have 8 or a select option, so almost like a multiple choice, just to learn a little bit more about you. So what we encourage you to do is actually to highlight this and then copy and paste it into a word browser. Not because you can't save it, you can save it, but it's because honestly, spell check isn't the greatest. So that way you can really look at what you're sending in. So I've already done that. And so I'm going to highlight it in a Word document I have elsewhere on the screen and paste. And if you notice, I can also expand this section out. So if you're writing something longer, then you're going to be able to expand it so you can see the whole thing. And oh, look, I have 2 periods there. Let's delete one. Okay, so the next question is A&M core value best describes me and why. So for this one, I want to do selfless service, and I talked about that. So I gave a little example there. The most impactful experience that shaped me as a leader for this last one. I'm actually going to share this with you. So this is an actual quote that I love in my life, and that is to never forget that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, that is all that ever has. And I forgot a period on that one, so let's do that. But let's say it's like, ooh, these really mean a lot to me. I wrote them out. I want to sit on it, and I still got time before the application's due. I want to just save and continue later. If you notice, I've now got a little exclamation point. That just tells me I have not submitted that section. It's just been saved, but also I can't continue to the next section. Also, I have number 4 to still do. So let's do number 4. I'm going to enter my UIN again. So this is just, this FLO happens to have an agreement of, yeah, I'm going to pay my dues. I'm going to follow their rules. I'm going to be able to come to those meetings. And if they have a mandatory event, things like that, which all engagement with the FLOs for this year are virtual. And they've been told to be virtual. Signed. So now I filled out everything, but I still have this little thing because I didn't click submit, so I can't actually submit my application. So let's go back in here. And I'm going to click complete section. And now I've got all check marks and it says continue to next step. Perfect. I haven't submitted though, because if you notice, it didn't say submit application, it said continue to the next step. So it's just showing me my reference number, and it's reminding me if I don't want to submit, then I can return by clicking cancel. I can return by clicking cancel application. I'll show you that now. But if I want to submit, click submit application now. Perfect. So it tells me that I've successfully submitted my application. You will not get an email confirmation. If you want to, you can take a little screenshot of this, which can also include your member number over here, just so that way you know that you have submitted your application. So what does this look like when I back out a step? So I've submitted to this one, and I know that because if I click into position details, I only have the option to cancel. So that's really cool that it's saving all that data. And I can also go over here to the other one and potentially start an application, for example, FLO number 2, because you know what? This FLO seems really good to me because they are all about being happy. That's the name of their FLO, quote unquote. So I hope this has been helpful in navigating this. We encourage you to open up the different applications, to research all the flows. Make sure to attend the different live streams. So we've got the 3 FLO live streams. We've also got all those videos that are going to be then live afterwards. Over on the FLAC YouTube channel, every FLO has submitted a up to 3-minute little get to know you video about themselves. Every FLO has done a takeover of the FLAC social media over on Facebook, the Facebook page, as well as the Instagram, links of which are on this website, on the FLAC website. And then finally, we encourage you to go to the informational. So every FLO has a informational time that's listed on the schedule tab. All you need to do is click the FLO's name with the corresponding time. So just check your schedule. All the times are in Central Daylight Time, Texas time, and join that and get to know about them. But do not wait to turn in your application. There's nothing holding you back except yourself. We wish you the best of luck in this process. If you have any questions that come up or run into any difficulties, please use the FLAC website. Go to the FLAC website and click the Contact Us button and let us know what's going on. That'll inform myself, the FLAC advisor, as well as the other advisor and the chief student leader. So that way we can hopefully get you the help in this process. But we thank you so much for taking your first step on your leadership journey at Texas A&M and building your Aggie community. And we look forward to having you here on campus. Thank you.